Welcome one and all to CNN 10, your daily explanation of world news. I'm Cral Azuz at the CNN Center. Based around the idea of improving the state of the World Economic Forum is holding its annual meeting right now in Davos, Switzerland. Leaders of governments, companies, and societies from around the world are gathered at the mountain resort. And the forum's 48th yearly meeting is dedicated to creating what it calls a shared narrative to improve the state of the world. That may be easier said than done. One reason, an issue that's become increasingly important to many members of the World Economic Forum is globalization, the idea of governments and businesses working more closely with each other and becoming more integrated. Globalization is controversial. Its supporters say it's created jobs and industries in poorer countries, led to lower prices for goods, and helped nations work together towards solving the world's problems. Its opponents say it's led to bad working conditions in poorer countries, given certain companies too much influence in the world, and eroded the individual cultures of nations. U.S. President Donald Trump, who's at the forum, has spoken out against globalization in the past. He's also said his administration's America First policy would prioritize Americans when it comes to issues like international trade or foreign affairs. Because that contrasts with the vision of leaders like French President Emmanuel Macron, who's spoken in favor of globalization and governments working more closely together, President Trump's speech and the reactions to it will be closely watched when he gives it on Friday.
Davos, filled to the brim with snow, it's known by locals as the Magic Mountain for its pristine air, healing properties, and peaceful setting. But during the annual sojourn of the World Economic Forum, Davos morphs into a haven for the global elite and even a platform for globalization. This is my 27th year in attendance, serving as a witness to this rapid evolution. The forum spent the last 3 decades building a brand around being at the center of radical global change, starting in 1990. About 2 months after the fall of the Berlin Wall, the forum hosted West German Chancellor Helmut Kohl and his East German counterpart Hans Modrow. Next up, China's leadership rolled into Davos to celebrate its role as a giant exporter. Resistance to globalization surged at the dawn of the new millennium. Protesters made their way to Davos to show global CEOs and policymakers firsthand that change was moving too fast. But none of this dented the forum. It rode a wave of growth with the architects behind the digital revolution. It served as a venue to help resolve global conflicts, and they even debated the merits behind the global financial crisis. A decade later, the game has completely changed. Enter Donald Trump, raising the populist tenor, threatening to erect trade barriers, and putting America first. His protectionist zeal can potentially rock the very foundation of the forum. From the 300 people that attended the first year I came to Davos to 10 times that amount now, 2018 is the year the forum is leaning in. There are a record number of government leaders. The emerging market darling, India, its prime minister, will have a high profile, juxtaposed against Mr. Anti-Globalization, Donald Trump himself. Davos man, or Davos woman, the term used for the ultimate globalist, has met its match in the U.S. president, as this enclave in the Alps fights to stay relevant for the next half-century.
10-second trivia. The founder of Children's Supermart later opened what famous retail company? Toys R Us, FAO Schwarz, Big Lots, or KB Toys? Charles Lazarus, the founder of Children's Supermart, eventually opened the hugely successful Toys R Us. Hugely successful for decades anyway. Last September, Toys R Us said it was filing for bankruptcy protection, meaning it was billions of dollars in debt and needed to reorganize its business to stay open. At that time, the Wall Street Journal reported the company would need to close some stores as part of the process, and yesterday, Toys R Us announced those closures. 182 locations in more than 40 states and Puerto Rico are on the list. This includes dozens of Babies R Us stores, which the company owns, and in all, the closures account for about 1/5 of all the Toys R Us retail locations in America. The 700+ stores that the company has outside the U.S. won't be closed. Why is this happening? 2 big reasons. One is named Amazon, one is named Walmart. Both are giving Toys R Us serious competition. But the company's CEO says these closures give it the best chance of coming out of bankruptcy as a stronger company. a card, any card. Pick a rabbit out of a hat. Basic magic tricks used to be kept secret. They were shared from magician to magician or in kits or books you'd have to buy. But now you can learn many of them for free in minutes on YouTube, rabbit not included. So how can a performer keep up with the speed of the internet and even use it to make magic?
What are your names, by the way?
Raymond.
Raymond, I'm Doug. And
Yanira.
Yanira, nice to meet you. And how are you guys related?
This is my wife.
Perfect. I'm going to see if I can get a connection between you guys. Pull out your phone. You have your phone on you? And same thing, pull out your phone.
Your work is really interesting because you do incorporate kind of old school magic with new technology.
So, you know, there's a history of magicians being at the forefront of technology. The first ever hacker was a magician. And maybe hold your phone in your right hand, hold your phone in your left hand. I'm going to come behind you like this. With your other hand, you come in between you like this. In your other hand, do me a favor, hold up one finger like this. Same thing. Watch, if I take your fingers like this, and I touch them. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to touch them like this. Don't let go. Okay? Because you get a call, and you're getting a call as well from each other, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Answer it, answer it. Make sure you're connected. Are you connected? Yes? Now here's the thing, don't hang up, don't hang up. Bring the phones down like this, because you're still connected. Look, still connected. Watch, if I take your fingers on 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pull them apart. Ready? Like this. And it disconnects.
Wow, you're amazing. Can we get a picture with you?
Sure. Here, I'll help you. You know, magicians have this history of tinkering and building, and throughout time since, 1900 till about now, technology has advanced a lot faster than magicians have been able to keep up with.
I would imagine as a modern day magician, it must be harder to keep secrets and to keep what you do a secret.
Technology's been bad for magic and good for magic at the same time, because magicians used to protect their secrets so well. And nowadays, you can go on YouTube and you can find a lot of magic secrets. When it's something that's like a $5.95 download and it's a simple secret, you don't have the same respect for it as when it took you years to learn or track down or figure out. Where are you guys from?
Sydney.
Sydney.
Australia.
So can I show you guys a little bit of magic? Can we try that? Perfect. What are your guys' names, by the way?
Krista.
Krista, I'm Doug.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And
Lena.
Lena, you have your phone. Do me a favor. I want you to think of something you could find on Wikipedia. It could be a person, a place, a thing, could be anything you'd like, okay? I want you to search for an article on that in Wikipedia, and don't tell me what it is. Don't even show the camera. And Krista, do me a favor. I want you to go to the middle of the article, to scroll to the middle, and think of any long word in the middle of that article. Just think of a long word in there. Don't tell anybody what it is, just think of one. Don't point it out or anything like that. I'm gonna go with this. For the first time, what was the word you thought of?
Advantages.
There you go.
What do you say to people who say magic doesn't exist?
So I think magic does exist, but magic exists inside people's minds. So magic is a feeling, right? And my job as a magician is to evoke that feeling in you.
It's kind of like prestidigitization, using the magic of the internets to reveal how peer-to-peer communication can still flourish, and you are elevate a field with secrets in danger of vanishing. You got a sleight of hand it to them for equivoking a new router of internetainment. I'm Cral Azuz, and CNN 10 reappears tomorrow.